What's up, guys? So I decided to just finish off my collection video tonight. So this one's gonna be a little bit longer than the other two because I'm literally finishing off every game in my collection and kind of giving you my thoughts on each game. So without further ado, since this is gonna be a long video, let's get through this. So first up, I have Need for Speed Most Wanted 5110. The thing about this game, and actually, this is kind of, I did this because it doubles as two games. It's also what's called Brooktown High, which is like a dating sim. I have no clue why I even picked up that game. That was like back in high school. But this game right here was really fun. I played a lot of it, and it has a lot of car customization, just like any of the other Need for Speeds. But what's the best one about this, and what's the reason why it's one of my favorite Need for Speed games, is because the cops are after you, like, the entire time. When you start speeding, the cops basically put up roadblocks and stuff, and you have to like drive past it and stuff, and it adds so much more to the challenge of racing, because you have to find all these different like ways to get around all these barricades, and it's so much fun. So yeah, Need for Speed, and the reason why this looks kind of weird is because I picked this up at GameStop, and this is how they sold it to me. So if you check that out, it's like really weirdly printed and stuff, and obviously they didn't have the real case for it, but you know, it's kind of annoying. And then Brooktown High, it's literally just a dating sim. It's kind of, I kind of doubled it as two different games. I think because my actual case at Brooktown High, I don't know what happened to it, but you know, it's nothing special. It's just dating sim, and I'm back in my childhood adolescence, I guess. You know. Next up, I have a really good remake. This is Parappa The Rapper. Basically from the PS1 days back onto the PSP, and the port is excellent. It's more of a remake than a port, but it's really fun, just like any of the other Parappa The Rapper games. You know, it's a rhythm-based game, and it's addicting, and what else can I say? It's Parappa The Rapper. Next up, I have actually only one of them in my collection. The other two I've played, but only as downloadable. This is Patapon, which is literally one of the PSP's most unique games. The PSP is home to a lot of rhythm games, and that's exactly what Patapon is, except Patapon adds on to that with the fact that, like, while this rhythm thing is going on, you're actually controlling your army, and they're fighting all these different enemies. They're very cutesy little characters down here with their eyes, and they're completely outlined in black. It's so much of a fun game. I've played everyone in the series, but the only one I actually have in my collection is Patapon 1. So, Patapon. Next up, I have Prince of Persia Rival Swords. Once again, without its case, I really want to get all their cases, but it's just expensive. It adds up. So yeah, Prince of Persia Rival Swords. This game is really fun. I'm a big fan of the Prince of Persia series. I know I'm saying that about a bunch of my games, and I'm a big fan, but you know, I'm a huge fan of video games, and if any series captures my attention, I'm going to become a fan of it. Prince of Persia is one of those series. You know, it's literally a game. The first one that I played, obviously, was on the GameCube, and that was Prince of Persia: Sands of Time, the original one. But the whole series is just so captivating. You just run up walls and kill stuff, and it's so much fun. But Rival Swords, like, I think there was the same one they had on the I think it was PS3 and Xbox 360, and that was something Thrones. I think it was something Thrones, but this one, Rival Swords, this was basically the port of the other two. Same thing about all of them, but really fun game nonetheless. Prince of Persia Revelation. This was the first Prince of Persia game I played that was extremely gory and bloody. This is an M-rated Prince of Persia game, and it definitely is rated M for a reason. It's very gory, very bloody. It's so much fun. So I was glad that I was able to play a Prince of Persia game like this. Really, really fun game. Definitely recommend it. Next up, I have Pursuit Force. I was finally able to pick up this game. This is one of the games that I added to my collection about 6 months ago. This is the original Pursuit Force. If you've never checked out this series, this is one of the original PSP's launch titles. Like I said, I've been collecting all of them. This game is so much fun. You basically have the ability to like jump from car to car, blow up other cars and stuff like that, and at the same time you're this good guy trying to protect the city from all these really messed up villains. This game is really fun, really addicting. And yeah, I also had I got the second one a lot longer before the first one. I actually recently just played the first one. This was the first Pursuit game I played, and it's funny because this is Pursuit Force Extreme, so it's the second one in the series. Plays just like the first one, but there's a lot of extra stuff, and I definitely would recommend this one versus the first one, but they're both really fun games nonetheless. Kept the same stuff that's in the first one. This is another game without a case, and the reason being is I think I got this from my dad when he bought his PSP, and he gave me this one. This came with his PSP, but this is a ridiculously fun game. This is Rock Band Unplugged, and for those of you that have never played Rock Band Unplugged, it's playing Rock Band, but playing all 4 instruments at the same time. It's literally what it is. You have to switch tracks between all the different instruments, and then you're basically playing it on the PSP on the go. There's so many good songs on this, and the downloadable songs you can get are really fun. There's like a Slipknot song and like a bunch of songs that I'm really into, so I really dug this. A lot of metal stuff on here, and really cool. Next up, I have the Sega Genesis collection. Now, I had like 2 collections in my collection. Obviously, I had the the Midway one, and then I have the Sega one. This one I played a lot more, because this had a lot of really good Sega classics on it, like the first 2 Sonic games, the original, actually, I think there's only one of them. What is it called? I forgot what it's called. I don't know why I forgot what it's called, but it has so many good games on it. Virtua Fighter 2, not the first one. For some reason, I don't know why they didn't include the first one. The Golden Axe, it only has Golden Axe 1 and 2. And Golden Axe, I loved that game on the original Sega Genesis. So many good games on here. Comic Zone. That was another game that I actually found out, and actually the first time I played it was on this system, because I didn't grow up with a Sega Genesis. I had a Super Nintendo and then an N64 and actually an Atari 2600 before that. But I can't remember that one game. There's also Kid Chameleon and Alex Kidd. So many good Sega Genesis games, and actually I was kind of introduced to a bunch of games on this collection, like Vector Man and stuff like that. This collection's really good, and all the games they play perfectly nice, and you can also unlock a few games by playing games. There's a bunch of unlockable games that aren't even mentioned on here, part of the collection, and it's really cool. Next up, I have another one of my favorite games on the PSP. This is Persona 3 Portable. Shin Megami Tensei Persona 3 Portable. Now, if anybody's never played the Persona games, they're one of the funnest games ever. They have a really, really good story, and it's basically a mature version of Pokemon. You summon demons from your head. That's really all I can explain it. This game is so much fun, and the Personas themselves are so full of character, and they're all based off mythology, and with this one, there's a lot of really cool Personas, and the storyline in this game was awesome. And this is the best port I've played of a Persona game so far. I still haven't picked up Persona 4 Golden on the PS Vita, and I will, and maybe that'll even top this one, but for now, this is still my favorite Persona game. Persona 3. Best one. Siphon Filter Dark Mirror. I have 2 of the Siphon Filter games. Siphon Filter, not Siphon Filter, but 2 of the Siphon Filter games. This game is a third-person shooter, and it's actually very excellent. I believe it was either Dark Mirror or the other Siphon Filter game I have that is literally a port from the PS1, but the port is excellent. I can't remember if it's this one or the other one. But they're both excellent games. There's so much stuff to do in these games, and I'm personally not a very big fan of shooters, but I really dug this series. Actually, looks like I have them backwards, so I might as well. Oh, no, never mind. Okay, so next up, I have Siphon Filter Logan's Shadow. This is I don't know if this is the second or the first one. I played these games so long ago, I can't even remember, but this game is just as fun as the first one, and this one actually adds like a really cool stealth mechanic to it, where like you see everything in like black and green, and the story's really good, and there's a lot of really cool stuff in this game, so another really cool one. The PSP is home to so many games I can't even explain it. One of my favorite Battlefront games, Star Wars Battlefront Renegade Squadron. This game is so much fun, and this was probably the second game I had on the PSP, because I actually borrowed my friend's copy for a while until I got my own. This game is awesome. It's just Star Wars Battlefront on the go. You have so much customization and so much stuff to do. It's just Star Wars Battlefront. Yeah. Enough said. Next up, I have my favorite out of all of the cartoon games. This is the Simpsons game, and I'm a big fan of the Simpsons. I'm a big fan of South Park and Family Guy, American Dad, and all that stuff. But this one did it better than all of the rest of them, because this spoofed almost every video game that was popular at the time. You got to actually play through all these video games in the Simpsons world, which is really cool. There was like a Grand Theft Auto 1, and then there were some older ones too, like the original. It made fun of EverQuest, which I found that super funny. And there's just so much stuff in this game. Made fun of Call of Duty, made fun of so many funny, like so many ways of making fun of games, and it was just excellent the way they did it. I freaking love this game. So the Simpsons Game. Next up, I have Throwville. This right here is a really good series. I dug this. I really cared for the Roller Coaster Tycoon games. They were really fun. I didn't really care for the one mechanic that stopped this game. In both games, there was a mechanic that didn't allow you to build. It basically stopped you from building a really big roller coaster because it had an energy level and you couldn't build past that energy level, and you basically had to take down parts like rides in your park in order to fit this energy level, and I hated that. But there was a cool story that went along with this and a lot of really cool stuff. I played through both of these a lot. I really dug them, but that one energy thing really held it back, in my opinion. Throwville Off the Rails, that's the second one. This added more of a story to it. There's a full storyline to this, and it was quite interesting. This mad scientist doctor guy, and there's all these really, really cool worlds in this one. But just like the first one, I like this game. It has that energy limit that I really just do not care for. Kind of just annoyed me a lot. Tokobot. This game right here is like a very good underrated gem or an unknown gem on the PSP. You basically play as this dude who has control of all these different robots, and you can turn them into all these kind of different things like a windmill and like a grabbing hand and a bunch of stuff like that to progress through these levels. It's a platformer through and through, and it is so much fun. So Tokobot, I really dig this, and I really wish I could get the box for this. Next up, I have a series that I played through a lot of, Untold Legends, and this is Brotherhood of the Blade, so this is the first one. This is actually made by SOE Entertainment, or just say SOE, but Sony Online Entertainment, basically. So the same people that made the original, what is it called? I used to play it all the time with my buddy, and I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on a bunch of these games, but, I wish I could talk more about it. But yeah, this game is a lot of fun. It plays exactly like the previously mentioned game that I can't remember its name of right now. Champions of No Wrath. That's its name. The Champions of No Wrath series. This is made by the same people that made that game. And I played that game so much with my buddy when we were kids on the PS2. I loved this one too. Both of these games were ridiculously addicting. Same thing with that. So this is the second one in the series, Untold Legends Warriors Code. This one added a cartoony element that was really hilarious. It just looked very different than the original one. I like how they did do that diversity between the two, and just played like the first one almost entirely. But there was a lot of extra stuff you could do, and so much fun. This is a game I didn't really play much of. It's another one of those ones I think I got for like $1 in a dollar bin. But it's Virtual Tennis. Not much to say about it. It's a tennis game for the PSP. I played it a little bit. It's fun, but yeah, sports games are not really my thing. Sorry, yes. I only have one of the Wipeout games. This is Wipeout Pure. I do not have the other one because I never was able to find it anywhere. But nevertheless, Wipeout is an excellent series, and on the PSP, it was a great home for the PSP. Or found a great home on the PSP. But this game, it's a racing game. You run around, have all these cool weapons of mass destruction, destroy all the other vehicles with. And it's basically, like, if you have never played the Wipeout series, it's basically like F-Zero with the same kind of mechanic. If you die or fall, you're done. You have to start over the track. But that adds a lot of challenge to this game, and it's so addicting. So, yeah, Wipeout Pure. Next up, I have Shaolin Showdown. When I was a kid, this was one of my favorite shows on Kids WB. I loved this show. I think I was like probably 10 years old when this show came out, and I dug it so much. And when I found out that they made a game for it way back then, I had to pick it up. This was probably a few years ago when I picked up this game. I liked it. It was definitely not what I expected. I wish they could have gone more through the story and stuff like that, but it was fun for what it was. You had your Shengon Wu, which is like these mystical objects, and you use it to give yourself new powers and stuff like that. A fun game, but there was a lot of things holding it back. It's still a fun game. And, the whole reason I bought it was because it was a Shaolin Showdown game, and it did its job, I guess. Next up, these were the last two games in my collection until I added a few more or got a few of my games back. So that's what the third pile is. But as far as these two, for those of you that don't know, I am a big fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! I've been playing it since I was a little kid, and I'm a big fan of the anime series that the Yu-Gi-Oh! That Yu-Gi-Oh! Spanned. This is Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, so it's Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Tag Force 3. They made so many Tag Force. I think they made 6 Tag Force games. I played them all, but I only collected 2 of them. I wish I could get the rest of them, but I'm so broke right now. But anyway, Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Tag Force 3. This game was awesome. It went through a lot of the series that America didn't get, which is why this was never released in America. I had to actually get this from Europe, and actually my buddy got it for me. This right here is an excellent game if you're a fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! It has a lot of cards in it, and it's up to... It goes through the Yubel saga, and then after that, it goes through the saga that only Japan got. And it was really cool to actually play through that saga as though it was released in America, because it's in English. So it was cool for that. And then next up, I have Yu-Gi-Oh! Tag Force 4, or Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's Tag Force 4. This was the first one in the 5D series. There were 2 other ones released, but I never got them as an actual copy. But this game goes through the first part of Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's. And if you've never seen the show, it's a really excellent show. I'm a big fan of that anime, the entire Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime. I love it. But, it just had an updated thing of roster of cards, and a lot of fun. You went through the first part of the story, I mean, what can I say? And what I didn't say is with the Yu-Gi-Oh! Tag Force series, unlike any of the other Yu-Gi-Oh! series, you actually get to see the opponent in front of you draw their cards like you're watching the anime, which is the reason I got so into the series, because it was just so developed. It was so cool. The only problem is it was subtitled. There was never any English voices, because for some reason America didn't want to get the English voice actors for it. So only in Japan did they actually have English or have voices, and it was obviously in Japanese. So that was it for my collection. These were the games that I added to my collection or that I picked up recently, and because I did these videos so long ago, these were never shown in the video. So I recently got back Final Fantasy Crisis Core from one of my buddies. This right here is an amazing game and such a great prequel to Final Fantasy VII. You get to play as Zack Fair in this game. Zack is literally, after this game, Zack became one of my favorite characters. This game has one of the greatest Final Fantasy endings ever, and it makes me tear up every time I watch the cutscene. But this game right here is so great. I can't talk any more about this game, but it's just, oh my god, this game is so great. Final Fantasy, or Crisis Core Final Fantasy. The prequel to Final Fantasy VII, it does everything it needs to do and more, and I love it. Crisis Core. Next up, I have Crush. This is one of the games I picked up. So, this is one of the launch titles on the PSP, and I wanted to get this game for a long time, because when I actually played the downloaded version, I dug it a lot. It's a puzzle game, but it gives you the ability to change the outlook on the game. So like you can change it from 2D to 3D, look at all different angles of the game in order to solve these puzzles, and it's very unique. I dug it. It's very cool. So Crush. Next up, I have Guitar Man Lives. This game is an excellent rhythm game. I'm a big fan of rhythm games. If you couldn't tell from my collection, but Guitar Man Lives. This game is a lot of fun. It gets really difficult towards the end, but it takes a lot of anime songs, not actual anime songs, but anime-inspired songs in a very anime-style game, and it's ridiculously outrageous and fun. I love it. Guitar Man Lives. Still never beat it, though. One of the final levels is so freaking difficult. This game I played a lot of when I had it on as a downloaded version. This is Guru Man Monstrous Adventures. This game plays like if you played Legend of Zelda with a girl with a drill as a weapon and monsters as your friends. This game is so much fun, and it literally plays like Legend of Zelda, but with a girl. There's so many bosses you fight, so many dungeons you go through. All the dungeons have unique stuff, just like Legend of Zelda. It was definitely inspired by Legend of Zelda. And it kind of has like an anime appeal, kind of like the Hayao Miyazaki films. I don't think it was actually made by the same company. I don't believe Studio Ghibli made this. But whoever made this, they definitely had some kind of attachment to Studio Ghibli, because you could tell in the cutscenes that this is definitely inspired by some kind of Studio Ghibli thing. Really, really cool. I love this game. It's so much fun. And then the last game in the series, another one of my favorite games. This is Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. This cover right here is like the best. This game is the prequel to the Kingdom Hearts series. It is it's absolutely important to play this game in the Kingdom Hearts series, and you gotta play it like in the middle, like right after you play Kingdom Hearts 2. That's kind of how I did it, because this game is so good. It basically like captures everything about the organization, everything about Kingdom Hearts in general, all the original characters, opens up the world to 3 new characters and a lot of new Disney adventures, and oh my god, this game is so good. So if you have not had a chance to play Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, or if you don't have a PSP, this game right here can literally sell you the PSP, and you could get PSPs so cheap now. So in ending my video, Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep is amazing. That is my PSP collection. It's definitely, I definitely have a lot, but I definitely want to get more. If you guys liked it, give me a thumbs up, give me a like, whatever, subscribe. I hope you guys liked it, and I'm out.